Yo, let's talk about some vinyl today. Check this out. We're going to discuss some 45's, okay? And let me just explain my history with 45's. You know, back in the 80s when I was in high school and I was just starting to purchase vinyl, I would purchase 45's. There was a handful. I actually did a video about 45's that I purchased while in high school. You'll be seeing more of those, but there are some that I purchased just because that's all the money I had at the time, or the record was just that popular, or whatever the case may be. But once I started purchasing, full albums, which was pretty much at the same time, I would focus more on albums than I would 45's or any other medium for that matter. So as time went on and I went into adulthood and I'm buying, I really didn't buy 45's. I started actually picking up rap 45's because I would see them in record stores or the Goodwill or somewhere, and they'd be dirt cheap. I'd find them at the thrift store for $0.25 or maybe 50 cents or something like that. And then in the actual record stores, I would find them for $1. A lot of times, just $1, maybe a couple of bucks or whatever. But not too much more than that. So I started picking them up, just to collect them, just as collectibles. They were cheap, they were there, it was rap, I'd buy them. I'd literally bring them home, file them away somewhere, and I would never touch them. I definitely didn't pull them out for parties. Not back in those days. I'm talking about all through the 90s, probably up through the 2000s, easy. Maybe up to maybe 2010, somewhere in there. Maybe a little further than that. Anyway, then I think it was right around that time I started getting invited to spin these 45 parties. And I think the first one I spun, actually it wasn't rap music at all. It was like world music, if my memory serves me correct. So I'm spinning like Afrobeat and Afro disco and Brazilian music and stuff like that, like real funky world music type stuff. I did always play dancehall, so I don't want to include that in that whole thing. But after that party, the first couple of parties is when I really started focusing on 45's and buying them just to spin for various parties. So I ended up accumulating. I have a lot of different 45's, but as far as rap, I've always had a really cool, thorough, so to speak, collection of those rap 45's that went from the 80s all the way up to like maybe the early 2000s or beyond, and beyond, I should say, and beyond. But I decided I wanted to show you some of the more rare ones in my collection. Now, these might not be rare to everybody. I'm sure some of these that I show, if not all of them, some will, feel like, oh, well, I see that all the time. These are records that I don't see very often, or records that I, bought real cheap and then they, shot up in value over the years, or records that I may have paid a pretty price for, but I just did what I had to do to get it because I wanted it that bad. Like I said, this is, these are rare and valuable, or not very well seen for me personally, and for my what is that thing? My personal collection. Ugh. Sorry. Anyway, so let's take a look at some of these in no particular order. I pulled out 10 of them that I wanted to show you. And here we go. All right. So the first one, this is Bis Marie. This is something for the radio. 45. Let's see what we got on the back here. Okay, it repeats on both sides. This bad boy is mint condition. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I am almost positive that I picked this up at a record show. Now, let me tell you about this record show. Here in Phoenix, this show isn't around anymore, unfortunately. But it was just a common record show. It's pretty much the only one that was going on in the city at the time. We've never had a ton of different record shows here. It's pretty much like always just one main one, and then, you know, a different one will pop up here and there over the years. But I don't even remember the actual name of this record show. But there was this guy, and he was from Tucson, Arizona, right up the street. And an older guy, too. And he had a whole table of 45's. A whole entire table of 45's. All of the 45's were either R&B music or rap music. I would say, you know, probably 85% of the collection that he had was R&B, and then the rest was like rap music, okay? Every record he had was mint condition, and I think they were $2 a piece. And then he was like, he had a sign up there, buy these many and you get them for, you know, $1.75. Have these many, you get them for $1.50. These many, you get them for $1, and so on and so forth. So I think you had to buy something crazy like 50 to get them for 50 cents a piece. So I was like, well, I'm going for that, because I'm looking at this stuff and everything was in alphabetical order, right? So I go through there and I'm grabbing some cool R&B stuff, but man, when the rap stuff that he had in there, and you're gonna see some more cold chilling stuff. But he had, like, I picked up like a stack of Beastie Boys and a stack of Houdini and a stack of Run DMC and a stack, just he had like not multiple copies, but just like he'd had like a really healthy amount of 45's from these different artists. So I didn't find like, I think I found like 4 or 5 Houdini, 5 or 6 Beastie Boys, things of that nature. I went crazy on there. And he only had half. He had, I think, A through K or L or something like that, because that's all of the room that he had on the table. I think they were like the 8-foot tables. I can't remember if he had 1 table or 2 tables, but he had a lot of 45's. And he was just like, hey, next show, I'll bring the other half and all of that stuff. So unfortunately, I never saw him again, because the shows back then, I think, were every 3 months, 3-4 months, every show. And I never saw the guy again. And I've been notorious for this over the years, is I didn't even get the guy's number. You could be in Tucson. It's what, an hour and a half, 2 hours away, something like that from where I live. You might be there. And I was there like a few months later and didn't even have the guy's, didn't have his information or what. So I don't know if he felt like maybe he didn't make enough money to come back, or, like I said, he was an older guy. He was a big guy. Maybe he felt like it wasn't worth it, or his health wasn't up to it, or maybe an automobile problem. I don't know. But from what I pulled out of that first half of those records, I can't even imagine what was in the other half that I didn't get to go through. And later on, now this is still, this was still at a time where I wasn't really spinning them. I've never like exclusively spun a whole lot of rap 45's on a regular basis. So that That's never happened. But I still didn't know what I had at home. And I wasn't really selling them or reselling 45s or anything like that. But when I decided to go through my collections, let me see what I have in here, I found out that there was like 2, 3 copies of a lot of these cold chilling 45s I had already. You know what I mean? And that's when I kind of started selling off my extra copies. And that's when I found out how valuable some of these 45s were. So that kind of kicked off the whole thing with me, was, where I was starting to pay attention on what was out there, what people were looking for, and how much, this stuff was going for. And I remember selling off some of my cold chilling 45s for anywhere between $60 and $120 back then. But this one, this has definitely has some value to it. All right, moving on. I'm not gonna sit here and say I really consider this to be a rap record, because it didn't come from a rap group, but I'm gonna show it to you guys anyway. This is Fatback King Tim III 45. The 45 is pretty common. It's not that much money, but this one is the promo, the white label promo version of that 45. So I thought you might dig seeing that one. This one has a lot more value than the regular pressing on it. And I have the regular pressing too. But yeah, first rap record? I think not. I can show you the first rap record, but we're not gonna, or one of the first. They're way before this. But that might have to be another video for another time. But this ain't it. Trust me. I'm sure most of y'all know that by now anyway. Okay, this next one. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is a guy. I found this record in New York. What was it Academy Records in Manhattan? No, it was Record City. I hope I'm saying that right. Record City, which was on the same street as Academy Record City. Anyway, this is Oxygen Gone Diggin'. And let me tell you, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. This is a song about record digging. And there's been a lot of songs about digging for records, digging for vinyl, crate digging and all of that. This is the greatest record digging song ever created. A lot of you guys probably know this song, and then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, find out about it. Go check out the video on YouTube. This is a great song. Now, Oxygen has gone on to become a really, really close buddy of mine. We've worked together on a project or two, but I didn't know him when I picked this up. And I just I remember listening to this on the, on the station there in the store. And I just remember thinking to myself while I'm listening to it, man, wait till my homeboys back in Phoenix hear this song. They are going to flip. And this was like, if I remember, this was like the last one in the store. I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. This is great. And I think it was a few years after that I was at this this afternoon evening jam at this spot in Brooklyn, and Oxygen was there, and we got to talk and chop it up. Down to earth brother, ill MC. If you don't know, now you know. Check this out. But this song is crazy. Good luck finding a copy of this. Great song, and happy to say one of my rarest, I'm gonna say, 45s, rap 45s in my collection. I can't say enough good things about this 45. All right, this is a cool one. This is Mr. Dabalina by Dale the Funky Homo Sapien. Um, some years back, I got a chance to DJ in Sweden and Gothenburg with a great time. My man Anders brought me over there to spin at his spot. Oh man, what was that spot called? Nefertiti. Club Nefertiti. Anyway, he took me all around to the record spots in his area, and I got to pick this up. When I saw that 75, I was like, what? No, that's something else. I don't, that wasn't the price. I mean, it was their price. Whatever 75 is in Swedish money, that's what I paid for this record. I don't remember exactly what I paid, but I think it was like $5 or $6. Somebody help me out who know about Swedish money or whatever. But that's what I ended up paying for this. So whatever that price came out to be, it was, it wasn't a whole lot of money. Somebody help me out. And it's just got the radio and the LP edit on there or whatever. And it is a import, or it's import to what we would call an import to the United States. I'm not sure where this one is from. Oh, France. This is a French pressing. So that's cool. How many Dell import records do you come across? I'm guessing not a whole lot. This record, I don't remember. Oh, where did I pick this? I don't remember where I picked this one up. One of my favorite records by this guy. One of my favorite records to spin. This is Kwame. And this is the man we all know and love. But that's not the song that I want to focus on. I want to focus on The Rhythm, which was one of his more well-known songs. One of his most popular songs that people like, even though it's the B-side on here. It went on to become a real popular song all on its own. Man, Kwame, a lot of people don't know that, that Straight Outta Compton movie, that NWA tour that they show in that movie. Well, Kwame was one of the people on this tour. So I got to see him, and I think that was the first time I saw him perform. One of my favorite artists from back in the day. So, this isn't the Kwame, the man we all know and love 45. This is the Kwame, the Rhythm 45. All right, next out, here's a record that I didn't think I would ever own. I remember when I first saw this record was upwards of, man, this was like a $400 or $500 45 at the time. This is Nas is Like. So that's the premiere joint right there on 45. How many of y'all have seen that on 45? Like I said, this sucker was up there. I like, I can forget about ever owning that record. And there was a time when this record just kind of dipped. You know what I mean? And I think I ended up buying it. I found it somewhere online. And I think I paid, man, what did I pay? I think I paid $40 for this. $40. Now, I haven't looked this up in a while. I don't know what it goes for now. But the last time I looked, which was probably a couple years ago, it was back up around the $200 range. Like I said, I don't know, but for some crazy reason, it took this dip, I guess, or somebody just, maybe they didn't know any better, but they had to have known something for it even to be, for them to even sell it for 40, or maybe not. Who knows? All I know is I got lucky, and I never thought that I would own this. And there's another record I want to show you where I feel the same way about. Hate Me Now is the B-side. With that one guy who's in all kinds of trouble right now. We don't need to talk about that. But, yeah. How many of y'all got that one? $200 is yours. Not for me. Anyway, let's keep moving. Here's another one. I wish I could remember where I bought every record, but I don't. A lot of them I do remember. Here's one that I don't remember. This is Eazy-E, We Want Easy, 45. The B-side is Easier Said Than Done. I don't know how many NWA / Eazy-E records ever came out on 45, but anyone that you find is going to be rare and valuable. I know some of you are looking at this saying, I didn't even know that existed. That's how rare it is. You know what I mean? And is this I'm not even sure if this is an import or not. It looks like a U.S. pressing as far as I can tell on here. But it's definitely one of those rare ones. I know I got this a long time ago. I've had this in my collection probably at least 15 years or so. It's probably one of those I bought for cheap and just kind of filed it away. I'm not exactly sure. Now here's the other one that I never thought I would ever own this record. Ooh, I need to put this in a sleeve. DLC, Portrait of a Masterpiece. I know a lot of y'all are going, oh man, where'd you get that? I've never seen that before. I know. Trust me, I was as shocked as you when I saw it the first time. And where I saw it, the only time I've ever seen this is when I was in LA doing some digging. I was out there for the B swap meet. And the day before the B swap meet, I was just going around as many record stores as I could. Adrian Young, the producer / DJ / all that other stuff, he has a record store. I don't know if he still has this store in LA, but he had this record store. So I was in there. Store was incredible, man. He had some really incredible stuff in there. And I believe it was there that I picked up a flyer for a party that was going on that night. And it was going on right there in the area, like literally a few doors away from where his record store was. So there was a party at this supper club, and I've told this story a few times, probably on this channel somewhere. But it was DJ Scratch and DJ Repmetic, and they were spinning all 45s. It was a 45 show, right? So I went there that night. I didn't get there in time to see DJ Repmetic from the Beat Junkies. But I got in there when DJ Scratch first got in. And now let me tell you something. DJ Scratch is one of the baddest dudes. Probably the baddest outside of like Rock and Rob. And there's a lot of crazy 45 guys out there, especially now. But Rock and Rob and DJ Scratch, two baddest DJs on 45s I ever seen in my life. And DJ Scratch, he did 3 different sets. He did one set where he played all like samples and breaks and stuff like that. He played another set. Well, let me take that back. I think he played an all sample set. He played all breaks and stuff, if my memory serves me correct. And then he did an all rap set. So when he's spinning, he's doing his thing. He's doubling up. He's doing all of these like battle routines using 45s. It was nuts, man. And I can't imagine what Repmatic's set was, because that dude is ill too. But at some point he pulls this record out and he just shows the crowd. He just kind of pans across the crowd like this. He goes all the way around. He's like, and everybody in the crowd, including me, are like, oh, oh. Everybody's like, oh. Everybody's, where did he get that? Look at that. That's a DOC on 45. Blah, blah. Everybody's like losing it, right? So he shows everybody, and then he, boom, he drops it into his set. And everybody just kind of goes nuts. It was pretty crazy. I remember when I went back to my hotel, I'm on my laptop and I'm just like looking for this thing, trying to see, which I'm sure a lot of people did that night, trying to figure out where is this? Is it new? Is it old? What the deal was? And yeah, it's definitely legit. It's an import. I think this is a UK import. It's got the album version on the B side and the CJ's Ed Did It mix on the A side. But yeah, at the time it was like a $300 45. And like for years, I think, I would see it sell. It wouldn't pop up very often, but when it would be between $200 and $300. Well, again, by some stroke of luck, mint condition, by some stroke of luck, I ended up finding this record, and I think I paid $60 for it. $60 for the record. And I was just shocked. It was like, wow, I can't believe I actually found this for a price that I could afford. And so yeah, I was really, really happy to be able to add this to my collection. Man, what a rare find that is. You know what I mean? So let's keep it moving with the next one. We got a couple more left. This one, I love this record right here. I still am to a certain extent, but I used to be addicted to watching record digging videos. I did eventually end up making a few of my own. They'll pop up on this channel eventually. I think, they're called Red Beans and Rice. So if you like Google Red Beans and Rice vinyl documentary, there's a part 1 and a part 2. I think they might be on YouTube on other channels. I'm not sure. But anyway, I used to like scour the internet for these record digging videos, and I found this one. I don't remember where I found it. It could have been on DJ Prestige's his blog, or it could have been on Crate Kings. It could have been on that website. I don't quite remember. But anyway, I saw this interview where they were talking to DJ Otto. Otto. Hope I'm saying that correctly. That's the homie now, so it's cool. But he's talking about, he's known for his 45 collection, and one of the records that he showed on that interview was Jaquan Tipsy. Now, if you was in the club back in the day, like I was in the club, then you know about the Tipsy joint. And to see it on 45 was crazy. So I was like, man, I gotta find that. Took me some years before I came across it, and I'm not even exactly sure where I found it. But man, I love dropping that. And I was already dropping the 12-inch in parties, still do to this day. Tipsy, Hood Hop, those are my joints. This 45 actually has the instrumental to it as well, which is really, really cool. So yeah, that's my club joint right there. Yeah, Otto put me on to that joint right there. And the last one I want to show you, if I'm not mistaken, I picked this up at the Beat Swap Meet in LA, when they used to have it in Chinatown. That's a whole nother story right there. But this is Willie D, Cleanup Man on 45. It's a hard cover to look at it. Okay, there's a chick. That's a chick in her hand up there, and a bottle of wine or whatever that is. I bought this really cheap. This goes for, this goes for a few bucks, but I was able to get this for next to nothing because there's like a slight warp in it. Can you see that warp? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, there you have that right there. If it wasn't for this being slightly warped, I probably wouldn't own that. I've never, that was the first and last time I've ever seen it. And I picked this up, man, at least, man, that's 12, 13, 14 years ago. But yeah, you just don't see this record very often. I certainly don't. Like I said, this is the only time I've ever seen it. Luckily, I was able to pick it up. I think I paid $2 for it or whatever. And I bought it from, I don't know their names, but it used to be these two Filipino cats. They used to sit up there. And for those who know who I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. These cats had records that was bananas, like ridiculous rap 45s you've never seen before. I mean, crazy stuff. And then they'd have multiple copies. They'd have like a ultra magnetic import 45 with a picture sleeve that they were selling for $300. And they'd have like 3 or 4 of them. They had some crazy stuff. But I ended up buying this from them. So, anyway. That's it, man. I hope y'all enjoyed looking at some of my 45s. Some of my rap 45s from my collection. Like I said, these are rare for, a few different reasons. Maybe they just didn't press a lot of them. Or they're really expensive. Or, you just don't see them in your area, or I don't see them in my area very often, and I've gotten to dig, definitely all over the country and occasionally outside of the country, and some of these records I've still never seen. And I'm definitely one of them hardcore, heavy diggers. I'm one of them dudes, so for me to not have seen some of these things ever, maybe it just means somebody picked it up right before I got to it, too. That's it, man. That's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for checking me out. This is Daryl D signing off. Peace and love.